Today I'm going to show you all how to make fish broth. Trinbagonian fish broth is a beloved dish in Trinidad and Tobago that exemplifies the island's rich cultural and culinary heritage. This hearty soup, made from fresh fish, rooted vegetables, and aromatic herbs, has a rich history, deeply rooted in the diverse influences of African, Indian, and indigenous traditions. Fish broth has been a staple in Trini cuisine for generations, reflecting the island's reliance on its abundant natural resources. The use of fresh, locally caught fish and a variety of vegetables showcases the resourcefulness and adaptability of the Trinbagonian people. In essence, Trinidadian fish broth is more than just a flavorful soup. It's a cultural emblem that embodies the island's history, communal values, and culinary diversity. Alright, so the first step for our fish broth is we need to season the fish. And the first thing we're going to do is make green seasoning. So if you're not familiar with green seasoning, this is a flavoring blend that we here in the Caribbean love to put in almost all of our foods. So I'm just going to show you all how you can make it at home. So here we have our blender. To that, it's going to with some water. This will just help break everything down. You're going to piece of ginger, a whole Scotch bonnet pepper. I mean, how much heat you want is really up to you. Some pimento peppers, whole cloves of garlic, some fine thyme, and we're going in with everything, stem and all. Just taking some Chadon Beni. I'm just going to break it up into smaller pieces, just to make it easier to blend. Break it up. And lastly, we're just going to be adding in some Chive. Same thing, we just want to break it up into smaller pieces just to make it easier to blend up. And then to help preserve our green seasoning and also add flavor, we're going in with some lime juice. You could use lemon juice as well, or some people even use vinegar, or if you prefer to omit it, you could omit it as well. And I like to season my green seasoning, so that's going in with some salt. This also helps to preserve it. And we want to blend this down to a thick but chunky consistency. And this is a good opportunity to mention Quartz, as we got this blender, all of our small and larger appliances from them. So huge shout out to Quartz for sponsoring this video and continuing to sponsor Foodie Nation. Right, so let's start a blend. Alright, if you want it a little thinner than this, then by all means just add a little more liquid, let it blend a little longer. But this is pretty much what I'm looking for. So to our fish, and today we're using Carrite, going in with some salt. This fish was washed with lime juice, some black pepper, and our green seasoning. We want to massage this seasoning into our fish. Now for best results, I'll strongly recommend you do this the night before you're going to make your fish broth. If not, at least let it sit in the seasoning blend for 2 to 4 hours. Alright, so we're going to let this sit for a little while and then move on to the next step. Alright, so the next step for our fish broth is we're going to be adding our provisions. Here we have some English potato, green fig or green banana, and whole okra that I just pierced the tip of. So we're just adding that to our pot, followed by pumpkin and carrots. And next, onion, crushed garlic, fine thyme, Chadon Beni, chive, pimento, and a whole hot pepper. And don't worry, we're going to be adding some more pepper a little later. And I just want to give this a healthy seasoning. And I'm just going to top it off with some water. Just take your spoon and just submerge the Chadon Beni, the chive, pimento. Give it a little stir to stir in our salt. And we want to let this cook over medium to low heat. We don't want this boiling because we don't want to mash up the ground provision. We don't want the potatoes to dissolve. We don't want the pumpkin to dissolve. We want it to be fork tender. Yeah, we still want to have it some bite to it. And most importantly, we want to see it. We want to know what we're eating. Yeah, so we have it over medium heat. Just going to cover it and let this go for about 25 minutes. All right, so the 25 minutes has passed. So let's check our broth. So low heat. Again, a little bubble, that's what we want. Again, we could still identify everything. You know, the pumpkin hasn't fully disintegrated. And you don't want to do too much mixing with this because the more you mix, the more you'll mash up. So I'm just giving it a slight turn and just a little turn. You see some of the pumpkin at the bottom Starting to mash up when I move it around. Still have our whole pepper here intact. Excellent. So this is our cue to once again season. So just going in with some more salt. And remember, we're making fish broth, so it needs to be a little salty. We're adding our lime juice. Use fresh lime juice, people. Don't buy no lime juice from no bottle. No. And in this instance, I will not even use lemon juice. You want that hyper acidic flavor that you get with lime juice. You don't want that slight subtle taste that you get with lemon juice. Yeah, you want this to be limey. You know, the lime must be liming. And then here we're going in with, now this part is optional. This is my heat. Here I'm using fermented pepper sauce. We'll include the link to that recipe in the description. But some people prefer to just use raw pepper. That's fine too. But my fermented pepper sauce also has additional flavoring in it. So for that, I prefer to use that just to continue to build and enhance the flavor. I'm just gonna give this a little mix. Again, nothing too vigorous. And then I'm gonna add in my fish. Now with the fish, this is why you're adding in your fish at the end or closer to the end, because you just wanna gently place your fish in your pot and just let it sit and poach or cook in this broth. And of course, you know, we ain't throwing away all this seasoning. Yeah, no way. We adding in all of this seasoning. Everything going in. Yeah, so let me just give this gentle stir on top. And we're gonna just cover and let this go again for maybe 15, another 20 minutes or so, low heat, just until our fish is fully cooked. And then we'll taste one last time. But again, you're really tasting with fish broth, you must get that salty taste. You have to get the lime. You have to get the heat. You're gonna get that that punch of flavor from the green seasoning. So those are the 4 main flavors I would say you're looking for. All right, so we're just gonna cover and let this continue to cook. All right, so let's check our fish broth now. So now we're really just checking to ensure our fish is fully cooked. So as you can see here, our fish is fully cooked. Tell by the change in color. A lot more firmer, and you definitely, of course, you don't want to overcook this fish. So now at this time, there's your time to taste. So again, you want to taste for the salt. You want to make sure you have enough of that lime taste. You want to make sure you have enough heat, enough flavor. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is plate up. All right, y'all, so this brings us to the end. So here you have it. So you see you can make this right at home. So you see it's very easy. Just a few simple ingredients, fresh, flavorful, and it's probably good for you. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. And once again, huge shout out to Courts for sponsoring this video. Thank you all so much. And as always, be sure to leave your comments, send us pictures, videos when you all make these recipes. We love getting feedback from you all. Thank you. Bye.